Welcome back, everybody. We're back with a brand new episode of 5 Minute Majors. I'm your host, Derek Harper. Let's get to it. All the championship series are finalized. We have our Memorial Cup from the WHL, as I predicted, the Medicine Hat Tigers. The OHL, also, as I predicted, the London Knights. And then in the QMJHL, the Moncton Wildcats won it. However, they defeated the host, so both teams make it. So Rimouski will get a chance to avenge that, and we'll see if they do that. Not too long ago, that actually happened in the OHL, where the host team won it. The WHL has not had as much luck. We'll see what the Kelowna Rockets do. They've started to build up after kind of, I guess, tearing down, but we'll see what happens there. Um, so our field's set. The Chiefs fell to the Tigers in 5 games there. Harrison Menigan of Medicine Hat, their goaltender, was named MVP. Then on Monday, it was announced that he'd signed his entry-level contract with the NHL's Tampa Bay Lightning. He finished the WHL playoffs with 14 victories, including 3 shutouts. Pretty impressive stuff. So, um, there was some other news around the league in the WHL. It was announced on Tuesday that Kamloops Blazers Don Hay, their associate coach, would not return next season. I don't think this is nearly the end of his coaching career whatsoever at all. There are multiple other openings, so he's likely probably going to sign on with a new team to be a coach there. Could it be the Penticton V's? That might be the logical choice. They want an experienced coach with some of the players they're getting. Um, and a unique thing with Penticton, when the Chiefs got eliminated, they went with playing rights instead of actually picking a player from the Chiefs, with the guys currently in the professional ranks with the Henderson Silver Knights, the Golden Knights AHL club. So we'll see what happens there. A very interesting move by them. But obviously, Penticton wants to do things the right way and continue their winning legacy and their dominating ways as they did in the BCHL. And then another expansion news, the QMJHL is actively pursuing 2 American markets. In the next few years, they're hoping by the 2026 to 27 season, those 2 markets either currently have or have had professional hockey teams. Portland, Maine, home to the ECHL's Maine Mariners, and then Manchester, New Hampshire, which has had the AHL and the ECHL. So we'll see what happens there. You would have to think that a league like that would be supported. The question mark with Maine, teams in that market are usually Boston affiliates, and that's what draws a lot of people there. You look at the Providence Bruins as one example, the Portland Sea Dogs as a second example, but it'll be interesting to see if those teams, if they happen, if they're supported well. Manchester seems to only want a high level of play. When they went from the AHL to the E, the attendance dropped off a cliff and ultimately didn't last. So there's that. But I think we're going to see a lot more expansion because of the agreement between the NCAA and the CHL with the players that can now sign with NCAA institutions after their career in the CHL is up if they don't go professional. So I think the expansion talks is going to ramp up more and more. Obviously, the WHL has Penticton next year, Chilliwack the year after that. The OHL is the only one not with expansion talks. At least for now, there were, but the USHL seemed to shut those down because they were going after the Youngstown Phantoms and one other franchise that I unfortunately cannot bring to the top of my brain. But I think the OHL wants to build more, but they were kind of stuck in a holding pattern after the USHL shut things down. But that's that. I expect that we'll see quite a bit of expansion in the next few years. Whether it's just the dub and the Q, we'll see. But I think this movement with the CHL and NCAA has opened the doors for numerous possibilities. And honestly, I'm excited to see what happens because I'm wondering, this is hypothetical, there's no rumors, nothing. If we could see competition on the ice between like the CHL teams and maybe OHL or excuse me, USHL, BCHL. I don't know if that would for sure work, but we'll see what happens there. The other thing with the QMJHL, they would need to work with USA Hockey to bring in two American teams. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, the OHL has done it, as has the WHL, with all the U.S. teams in that league. They're in those two. Um, and just a lot of big names have come out of the U.S. based teams, including Connor McDavid, Oliver Bjorkstrand. And obviously, with the import rule now expanding, the talent pool will be even greater. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I think this is a very exciting time to be a fan of major junior hockey, just with the changing landscape, the expansion possibilities, the talent pool. I think it's going to make for a lot of fun stories and a lot of fun news in the next few years. I say give it 3 or 4 years, and we'll see quite a few new teams. Maybe some interleague competition amongst U.S. based leagues or independent Canadian leagues like the BCHL. We'll see what happens. Maybe more BCHL teams are kind of pillaged, rather their markets for CHL teams. Maybe we see one back in Cranbrook, but we'll see what happens. It's just kind of a waiting game, and as the times change and as leagues try to work through the changes with the NCAA agreement that really turned everything upside down, as well as the BCHL obviously going independent from Hockey Canada, which was another thing that said, hey, the BCHL wants to be this big time league to rival possibly major junior leagues, but now with obviously the NCAA agreement that changed things. So it's a very interesting time, and we'll keep you posted on all the Memorial Cup news in the next week. But if I had to pick a Memorial Cup champion, it's really tough. I think Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers are going to make a crazy run. I could see them in the final. London's always really powerful, but it always seems like there's a team from the Q also that wins quite a bit. So I think this might be one of the best Memorial Cups yet, and we'll be sure to keep you posted on all the results and any big highlights. We'll catch you in the next episode.